Now, when you pick these up, do you grab them this way, or do you
Try
get
to have
under
the
them?
loader as low as possible.
Like that?
Right, you've got more lifting strength on the ground than you do very high.
Gotcha. They look good?
So run under it, yeah. After you get off your asphalt, down a little more. There you go. Now grab. Let's go out and see how high you can go.
You see these weights you had me get?
You're
working.
still using them. We may have to buy you some more, but you got
Still,
wheel weights.
I got wheel weights. This thing came loaded.
The other thing we can do is flume the tires, but my goodness, what an upgrade, Mark. This is amazing. Okay, you're not going to have any problem.
Yeah, you're right.
Why don't you set it out of the way and then...
Yeah. See, I get some coaching along the way.
Man, what a nice tractor. We're here at Mark's house. We spent several times here last year. This is the first time we've been here this season. When I first met Mark, he had a little 590, I believe, lawnmower, and I tried to talk him into getting a 1025R. I thought that was a pretty big step forward. What would you like to have first? Anything. Typically fairly light stuff, because when you're going to drop it.
I'll pick up all those then.
And then just get your boom over there and drop her as gently as you can.
Got it. I think I can do better than I did with the forks on the Johnny 1 or whatever.
Yeah, that's okay. That was a long time ago experience-wise, wasn't it?
It definitely is. The funny thing is, and Craig told me this, he said when you came home with that lawnmower, I was laughing at you. And then you came out the first time and said, this is what you need. So I got that.
And had I realized just how serious you were going to take this, I would have recommended a bigger one, but I felt embarrassed about pushing you toward the 1 Series.
Well, you know, the DNR district forester came out to talk with us about getting a classification, and he told me something you had suggested first time, and I ought to just listen. But you said when we were taking these crowns out, you ought to, just take them over, get them out of here. And that's what the district forester said, because I was like, oh, you need to leave all this in the forest so the animals can use it. Like, no, then the trees don't grow.
So have you been working now to take them out?
Yes. Yes, that's why we've got the trail going in.
Okay. So we came back out for our second trip. After we had been here the first time, I'd seen that little 590 lawnmower, which most people would consider a pretty good size lawnmower, right? And there it was, the 1025R. He had bought that 1025R. This year, he said he needed to borrow my trailer. We needed to haul off some of this wood. And just in passing, he said, yeah, I got one log that's pretty big. My 3033R won't pick it up. I said, what? Look at there, 3033R.
I'm still learning.
You're doing fine. We want to make sure we get the back fairly full, because it's harder for me to dump if it's real heavy on the front.
Okay. Well, that should be easy.
Man, this thing runs smooth.
Yeah, it really does.
Was it brand new?
Almost. They used it at the 4-H, and so it had a few hours on it.
Okay.
They sold it to me new with the full package.
I believe this is the Frontier grapple. I'm not exactly sure which model. Hey, Christy.
I knew this was coming. The answer is no.
I need one of these.
If we get one, it's going to be the 3046R.
Okay, that's a deal.
Which one are you going to trade in to get it?
Oh. Let's get lucky. Clamp again. Yeah, for me it's as you raise, you got to keep clamping.
Yes.
Because it gets a little looser and you clamp, clamp, clamp.
Right. I'm a lot more precise with this thing though than with
you're doing a great job. Well, with the forks, yeah. I mean, you can grab.
I'm not sure my wife's happy I got it though.
Does she know though?
She knows.
This one was going to be hard to hide. Hold it.
Yeah.
We're using one of the cool features of the BWise Ultimate Dump today, and that's the fold down sides. This allows the loader not to have to lift as high. Now in this case, we have a large loader, right? I mean, this 320R loader, it can lift plenty high, so it could lift over the side. But I still wanted to fold them down because, as you can see, Mark wants to try to be careful and not drop them from any higher than he has to. So by folding down that side, he can tip it right down in there and lay them down in there pretty gently and keep from causing any more damage to the floor than we have to. I really like these fold down sides. To fold down the front one, I did get some questions about that. This is the cover that keeps the brush from going off. We have to take off the side brace for that, and it's laying on the ground there. But that's a 15-second job. I feel totally out of place here. I mean, usually it's my tractor and I'm doing the work, but here I am just sitting and watching. Okay, you can put the big one on now. Put this one on the back, on this side. You're pretty smooth with this, Mark.
Getting better. Not fast.
That's a big log.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Right in the middle. One trick I've learned is that when you're clamping, as you pick up, you've got to keep clamping.
Keep clamping, okay.
Because the load shifts and
Just gonna get that one more. The other one I'm gonna leave.
you know, guys, one thing I'm seeing is just how much experience Mark has gained in a year. And he's not gained it by any training manual, he's gained it by time. He's just used his machines and he's learned over time what machines he's needed. I'm sure that was a little shaky there, Christy. He's learned over time what machines he needs. And so maybe that's cost him a little extra than what it would have to have got this machine to start with. But I don't think there's any way he would have invested this much to start with. That's just a learning process we go through. So tell me about this wood. What are we doing with this load?
This is going to Sunman.
Sunman, Indiana. I've never been there.
Yeah.
John.
Well, you know where it's close to Milan. The
Okay.
famous basketball.
Yeah, that's the
State-
basketball team that
yeah.
won with like only 6 players. And
Yeah.
But anyway, we're taking these logs there. Then what's going to happen?
Well, this guy, John Carson from
Yeah.
Carson Lumber is going to take them and saw them. He's got I believe it's a wood miser. I'm not sure. It's one of the blades that you cut them into planks.
Yeah.
And then he'll dry them in the kiln and put tongue and groove on those.
Okay.
And then that floor goes into my daughter's house.
Wow.
The ash anyway, and then the red oak is going into a conservatory for Nancy.
That's really
at
cool.
what we now call Three Forks Preserve.
Three Forks Preserve. That's
Yeah.
the name of the state now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's the Three Forks?
With a forest management plan.
Yeah. Well, Three Forks, we adopted our 3 kids from Korea.
Oh, okay.
And so somehow we came up on this idea a few decades ago, a couple decades ago, of naming a ranch Three Forks.
So it's a preserve.
Yeah.
That's the other word there. And we talked a little about that last year. Remind our viewers what's going on there.
Yeah. So when we first moved in here, the forest had not been maintained at all.
No, it really
just-
hadn't.
Yeah.
When we saw it, it was,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just really, really wild. And so it's a total of 12.25 acres. And through the State Department, the Department of Natural Resources has a program called Classified Forest.
Okay.
And when you do that, it's still private property, so it's not like a nature preserve where people could come and visit whenever they want.
Right.
It's private property, and it's to be treated just like anybody else's yard.
Okay, and then you have some rules to follow.
Yes. Right. So in order to have it as a
Classified
forest, thank you, it has to be at least 10 contiguous acres of forest or wildland, and you can only plant native species to replace whatever is taken out.
Okay.
And as you and Danny and Craig and Wynn and Tom and all the guys who came to help know, we took out all those ash trees that died, and of course we're cutting those into firewood and then some flooring. But so in order to replace those, Craig and I, for Earth Day, started and just recently finished planting 500 deciduous trees from the DNR that we bought through their purchase program.
Oak, yeah.
Yeah.
You bought some oak, and it looked like it might have been...
Pecan.
Okay.
Yeah. Maple.
Right, and hickory, 2 kinds of hickory.
So you guys are brothers.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're just kind of helping out with this, and it's kind of become a passion for both of you guys, seems like.
Yes.
Well, this is really neat. Maybe sometime we can come back and see the trail
Absolutely.
after you're further along on it. You know, the only sad part for me is you don't need me anymore.
No, obviously I still do.
You got that big tractor, and I'm feeling all left out.
No, when we thought about moving this down to Carson Lumber, you're the first guy I thought of.
Yeah.
Like, you know, he's got that
Get the
big
tools
trailer and the know-how.
to get it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, maybe we'll take a look at Carson Lumber. You said it's a unique place, and so we'll see what kind of stuff they got going on there. And,
Yeah, pretty cool.
So we'll see you there.
Okay.
Just dump them right here and I'll pick them up.
Yeah, I'll kind of have to string them along. I don't
That's
dump in a
fine.
pile.
Whatever, I'll get them moved.
Telling me to show off.
Are you a quail hunter, John?
Not really.
I hear quail around here ever since I've been here.
I've got a couple Caturnix quail there. There's some Bob White here too. There's
Oh,
Bob
okay.
White
So
around.
yours are pinned.
Yeah, I got just a couple of them left. And just
Oh,
two
okay.
of 'em.
These eyes
But-
about going nuts. I keep hearing the quail whistle. And
There's Bob White around. Once in a while you hear them.
What kind did you say you have?
The Caturnix, they're them ones you raise. They raise them for meat and
So you use them for meat?
yeah, meat and eggs.
Are the eggs good?
Yeah, they get about 3 to 3.5 a dozen for eating eggs from them little things.
Now I can raise it a lot higher.
That should be. I think they'll slide out of there.
John's pretty quick to move those forks from side to side. With that large of a tractor, he doesn't get concerned at all about it being a little bit offset of his loader. So how does your business work, John? What do you do?
I just got a portable wood miser and was doing custom sawing for customers around, and it's kind of evolved to where I'm full-time here, don't go out custom sawing anymore, but do sawing, kiln drying, planing, milling. Too much for one person.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it just looks like you got an enormous operation around here.
It's just growing and growing, and I'm to the point where I got to get some decent full-time help or do something.
Yeah, it doesn't get any easier as we get older.
No, but I make hardwood flooring and trim and pine groove for siding and that type of stuff, all of it. Sell lumber and whatever someone needs, I try to help them.
Okay. How long you been doing it?
I started in June of '86, so just over 34 years.
Wow.
The forks in front of the tractor are kind of hard to see, so I keep one on the side where I can see it. Just,
Oh, that's why you do the off-center, so you
yeah.
can get a little better visibility.
Yeah,
Well, that makes sense.
Can't see down.
Yeah, on my larger tractor, I have trouble seeing too. How long have you had this tractor?
This tractor we bought in, I was farming then, but we bought it in '91.
What is it, 75, 80 horse?
It's supposed to be 60 to 65, somewhere's in there.
Okay.
The fork rack on it I built because I needed something wider to stabilize the logs. A standard fork frame was not very good at handling 16-foot logs.
You need a grapple
I do.
for the logs, not for the finished wood, but
It would be nice. And I thought of putting one on here. I did take a winch I had on an old John Deere crawler and took it off and built it onto the back of this. So I have used it for some logging.
yeah, and it makes some nice rear ballast too. I bet that's a heavy.
What it's being right now is rear ballast. I'm guessing it weighs in the neighborhood of 1,000 pounds.
Yeah, it
hanging
looks
back
huge.
there.
Looks like you've rigged it up to run off the PTO.
Yes, it originally did run off a PTO. It has its own self-contained hydraulic unit that runs a clutch and a brake.
Okay.
And right now the pump is getting bad in it. It's a 60s, sometime from in the 60s. But I can get rebuilt pump or pumps yet from John Deere. And when it's working, it will drag this tractor around like it's a little toy.
I bet it does. But you can still get parts from Deere.
Yeah.
So you don't actually try to make the furniture.
No, I do glue up some tabletops and that type of thing for customers if they need something glued up, but I don't actually make the whole table normally.
So you need a young apprentice that you can teach how to do this.
That's what I'm
all this
looking
stuff.
for. That's really, really interested in this type of work.
You got to have a passion, don't you?
Yeah.
I
I mean, anybody can come and work at it as a job, but
there's a lot of ways to make money in this world if you have a little passion.
yeah.
If you don't have any passion, you're gonna go hungry.
Yeah, it's gonna be a job or work, and if you got some passion, it's not. Like I tell people, I'm a professional sawdust maker.
It looks like you've been doing pretty good at it.
Yeah. A lot of the trees, though, come from house yards and
Not really
the
suitable.
big ones, anyway. The timber buyers they don't want a house yard tree, so they let them grow. But
Yeah.
the other ones, if they get a chance to buy them, they're gone. It is surprising some of the stuff that comes in. People get logs given to them or whatever, and they think,
I think, oh, that'll be a good log
Yeah.
or whatever. Yeah. Any advice for somebody wanting to start doing something like this in other areas?
it's a lot of hard work.
Yeah.
If you want to do the work, it can be done. I've got all the work and more that I want.
Yeah.
To start out sawing, it's, there's a learning curve to anything that you do new, and slow at first, but it picks up.
Well, that's our pile. So in this room, this is where you do your planing.
This is where I do the planing.
Looks like you've got a couple of planes.
The rip saw, yeah, I've got a planer and a rip saw. Machine behind the staves there is what we make our flooring tongue and groove with.
Do you have anything ready for tongue and groove? Or is that, you don't do both sides at once, do you? You turn it over and run it through
My
again?
machine does 3 sides at once. It does not do the surface. The surface, these were cut-offs from when I was setting up the machine. But it does the back relief and the 2 edges all at once with the face of the flooring being done already.
Okay.
So like I said, these were just setting it up, measuring the width. As far as the width, you just move your 2 cutters in and out.
And you do that after it's dried, right?
Yes. That's the last stage here is the tongue and groove. It's dried, and then, well, it's not a joiner, it's a straight line rip saw there.
Sure.
That rips an edge straight, and then I'll plane it. Sometimes I'll go ahead and rip them. Like this order was for 6-inch, and with the tongue here, I've got to make them about 6 3/8. So and then plus there's a little bit on this side and a little bit here that gets milled off in milling. So there's, waste on every length of, if you're making 6-inch flooring, you only have one of those for 6 inches. If you're making 3-inch flooring, you need 2 3.5s to get 6 inches of flooring, where if you're making the 6, you only need a 6.5. And then there's always the waste factor, starting with the board you know, if a customer wants all 6-inch flooring and I need to rip it at 6.5, and I have a lot of 10-inch lumber, I'm starting off, I'm losing 2.5, 3 inches of lumber that way.
So does a customer end up paying more or less for this than what he would at the local
It's
big box?
probably more. I mean, I'm not running production. I'm not, you know, geared in that same, but I'm making a kind of a different product. These are poplar samples that I was running through, but it was the customer's wood. It was all 12-foot long and 6-inch wide boards.
And that's Mark's story. I mean,
Yeah,
Mark's
you
story is
can't-
this is my wood and my floor.
Right. He brought it here to be made into flooring.
So, but it's not. It sounds like it's a little bit more maybe than what
Yeah.
you could buy, but it's not. It's not exorbitant. It would.
Right.
It's
No.
just a little bit of a luxury.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Mark behind
Yeah.
the camera.
Not something you can find.
No, you can't go buy it. 12-foot long flooring, 6 inches wide, unless you order it from Sawmill or something, or have it made.
Or from you.
Yep.
John, I appreciate you showing us around today.
And thank you.
Yeah.
I did enjoy it. So.
Yeah, this is very unique. You know, it's a unique way to make a living. John and I were talking about how you can make a living a lot of different ways if you got passion.
Absolutely.
If you don't have passion for it,
tell it
it's going
does.
to be a miserable life.
Yeah.
No matter what you're doing. And
Right.
he's got some big cherry back there. I would love to see the finished table or whatever they're going to
Yeah.
make out of that rig. But
That's cool.
it's really nice. And Mark and Craig, I appreciate you inviting us out to
Thank you for
help
coming.
haul some logs. And
Always appreciate your help. Good to see you.
thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.